And of course, we invite you to, of course, join in the discussion and especially for our next session, which is the talk show session with our panelists. But before we do move on to the talk show session, please do help yourself for the tea, coffee, and also snacks provided at the back end of the room. And you may bring them to your seats and enjoy them while you join in our discussion. And ladies and gentlemen, we will continue our discussion today with a talk show where we will further explore the perspectives and also associated strategies on the second roadmap. As mentioned before in the presentation, the second roadmap comprises of 9 mutually reinforcing strategies and associated actions. And of course, it is very, very much hope and also envision that it is crucial to engage key stakeholders to, of course, achieve the implementation of the roadmap and also the strategies it consists. And of course, we will be digging deeper with our panelists this morning on this issue. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce and invite the panelists up onto the stage, I would like to also once again remind you that there will be a question and answer session or a discussion session for those of you here offline or on-site, and those of you online joining us through Zoom. And the same system also applies for those of you who are here offline or on-site. Please do raise your hand, and our committee will pass on a microphone to you, and you may ask the question directly to the panelist. And for those of you joining us online, please do state your name, institution, and of course your email as well, and to whom the question is addressed to. And it appears that the chairs are almost ready, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I can see some of you have helped yourself with some tea and coffee and also snacks. But in our next talk show, we will, of course, be digging deeper into especially about the key strategies of the roadmap. For there are 9 strategies, which is the first one is the enhancement of the implementation of the AATHP, including the capabilities of the ASEAN Coordinating Center for Transboundary Haze and Pollution Control. And then the next one, or the second point, is developing and implementation of the sub-regional strategies. And of course, the sustainable management. And of course, we will also dig in deeper, especially in securing the resources from multi-stakeholders and also strengthening the relevant national policies, laws, especially on their regulations and also implementation. And next, we will also, of course, dig in deeper on how we can enhance cross-sectoral and also multi-level cooperation, and of course, ensuring and also raising the public awareness and also the stakeholder participation that was, of course, mentioned is very crucial in achieving the implementation. And of course, the evaluation that is much needed at the end of the implementation of the roadmap. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to come up on stage as I invite and introduce to you our panelists this morning. Please welcome onto the stage Dr. Israr Albad, the Deputy Director, Land and Forest Management, Ministry of Environment of Forestry of Indonesia. Please give a round of applause. Welcome, Dr. Albad. Please do take a seat. And next, ladies and gentlemen, joining us online is Dr. Kesine Unapumnuk, environmentalist, professional level pollution control department, joining us online from Thailand. Good morning, Dr. Unapumnuk. Are we connected? And next, as we await for the connection, please also welcome on stage Dr. Supat Wangwangwatana, the Faculty of Public Health from Thammasat University. Good morning and welcome. Please do take a seat. Thank you for joining us. And it appears here, Dr. Unapumnuk. Good morning. Can you hear us? Once again, it is still on mute. Good morning, doctor. Good morning. Yes, we can hear your voice, and probably the committee, we can make some adjustment to the volume control so everyone in the room can hear Dr. Unapumnok clearly as we begin the discussion. And last but not least, please welcome onto the stage Ms. Elim Sri Taba, the Chief Sustainability Officer of Asia Pulp and Paper. Welcome. Please do take a seat. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for our panelists. Good morning, how are you? And thank you for joining us today. We also have one participating online. And ladies and gentlemen, I will begin with my first question. And this applies for all the panelists. In your view, what among the 9 strategies, what are the most important strategies and actions that require immediate actions? And of course, is very crucial in achieving the targets. Please, you may start. Doctor.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very pleased to be here to witness the launch of the second roadmap after being involved in the haze issue in ASEAN from the beginning, late 1990, with the development and the implementation of the ASEAN agreement on transboundary haze pollution. The first roadmap, I also been involved in the development of the first roadmap and the second roadmap as well. So really been involved in this issue from more than 30 years. And the second roadmap strategy, could I have slide? I have just a few slides for the first question. The question is, among the 9 strategies, these are the 9 strategies. Strategy 1 is in the middle, and that is why it is put in the first one. So in my view, there are 3 key priorities in the second roadmap. The first one is the establishment of the ACC-THCP. This been a long time. It has been a long time for the establishment of the ACC-THCP. And we would like to thank actually the government of Indonesia for hosting the center. The establishment of the ACC-THCP comes first in my view, because it will make the ASEAN agreement on transboundary haze into full operationalized, into full operation. And also the roadmap as well. It will make and drive the second roadmap, materialize all the action that been specified, the 9 strategy and 65 action under 9 strategy. To mobilize that, we need someone to be the center and do that kind of mobilization in cooperation with the 10 ASEAN countries. And the second priority, which I see that it is important, is the implementation of national action. And what I mean national action is those that will address the emission from sources. That's the only way to get rid of haze, by get rid of or reduce emission, particulate emission from sources, variety of sources. For the ASEAN agreement, focusing on forest fire and land fire. That will be the second. The third one is the strengthening of the sub-regional cooperation. There are definitely, obviously, different between northern ASEAN and also the southern part of ASEAN. I will have 2 more slides to show. Could you go to the next slide? The next slide will show you how air pollution is generated. There are 2 factors. Emission from a variety of sources, meteorological condition, which will then determine the quality of the air or the level of haze in the air in the region. Meteorological condition is natural. It changes by year. Depending upon it will be El Nino year or La Nina year. When we come to the El Nino year, the situation will get worse. But the major factor is emission. And that is anthropogenic emission, which we have control over. It's up to us whether we will take action. And there has to be action at the national level, at the local level, to reduce, get rid of the emission. Then the quality of the air, the haze situation will become better. That's the only way, from what I see. That's mean national action in reducing emission from sources is the second most important priority. And the third one, sub-regional different. Next slide, please. Been mentioned by Dr. Wang and also by Dia this morning on the difference between the Northern ASEAN, Mekong sub-region, and also Southern ASEAN. What's our difference between the 2 sub-regions? The haze period, different. In the northern part, this is the time of the year that the haze comes. When you look at the situation nowadays in the southern part, it's clear, nothing. So the period is different. The second difference is the type of forest, the type of fire is different. In the northern part, most of the agricultural land fire focus on these 3 crops: rice, sugarcane, and maize. These are the 3 crops being grown in the northern part of ASEAN. And after harvesting, the farmer always burn whatever left on the land, the agricultural residue. But in the southern part, most of the fire are in the forest fire. And the different kind of vegetation as well. Oil palms, that's the major source. The burning of the oil palm area. The third difference is the type of forest. In the northern part, most of the forests are mixed deciduous forests. There might be some peatland forests as well, but not as many as the mixed deciduous forests. The management of the forests in order to reduce forest fire also different from the southern part of ASEAN. Because the southern part of ASEAN type of forest mostly peatland. And controlling the water level as mentioned earlier by GEC, by Faisal, and also by our Japanese friends here, focus on controlling the water level. Most of the time, there will be intrusion of people into the palm oil, draining water out from the peatland area in order to grow vegetation, including some peatland in the southern part of Thailand as well, the same. So by controlling the water level, we will actually prevent the fire and also distinguish the fire once it happens. Because It's a kind of very deep fire into the land once you have the peatland. So these are the difference. So the way to tackle the problem between the northern part and the southern part are different. And in the past 20 to 30 years, ASEAN focused a lot on the peatland fire. A lot of resources come to the management of the peatland fire. And that actually has resulted in better situation in the Southern ASEAN region in the last couple of years. We don't see many alert tree transboundary haze. Very few. But when you go to the northern part, many of them. And if you will be in this afternoon, I will have a slide to show to you as well how better the Southern ASEAN region been. And the northern part will have to be addressed differently. And at the moment, the sub-regional strategy already been undertaken by the country in the northern part. Start with the clear sky strategy among 3 countries, Thailand, Laos, PDR, Myanmar, and Cambodia will be invited. And eventually, probably we will expand to the 5 countries, working together. The joint plan of action already been developed by the 3 countries already.
And the joint plans, Doctor, of course, we all want to see it to be implemented. But how can the collaboration be made, especially within the key stakeholders, and especially you from an academic background as a researchers, how can researchers, academics collaborate with governments and agencies to ensure the plans, the roadmap can be implemented?
In fact, I'm also part of the Thailand National Research Council. And in recent years, the National Research Council of Thailand has provided funding support for researchers and also studies in order to identify source, come up with scientific information, and also how to reduce the management issue as well. So the National Research Council in the last 3 or 4 years has funded almost 100 projects already and has identified many things, and that finding will then be used as a basis, a scientific basis to come up with measures, policy and measures to reduce the emission from sources. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Supat. And now I'd like to also ask Dr. Unapumnuk, who is joining us online through Zoom. Still on collaboration and also the strategies and also the alignment, Doctor, especially with existing national programs and policies aimed at haze reduction or pollution in Thailand, from your views. How can they align? Can you hear?
Yes. Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
Okay,
perfectly.
great.
Please, how can
So
the strategies align?
So thank you very much. I would like to just point out, and that would confirm what Dr. Supat has just said, that in Thailand, we very much focus or pay attention on strategy number 2, which is the developing and implementing sub-regional strategies. As Dr. Supat already mentioned about the clear sky strategies, in Mekong sub-region, which is at the moment is only Thailand, Laos PDR, and Myanmar are involved, and Thailand is going to invite Cambodia to join us in the next phase. So for the joint plan of action, the thing that have a linkage between Clear Sky Joint Plan of Action and the National Action Plan is, for example, fire control and suppression system, promoting of the air quality forecast and monitoring system, And also we are promoting on the sustainable agricultural management. This is also the action that was proposed under the joint plan of action under the Clear Sky strategy. And in that course, the National Action Plan of Thailand for this year, especially in 2024, we are focusing more on the forest fire control and suppression system. And also we would like to very much promote the sustainable agricultural management. So we are reducing hotspot in forest fires and open burning for agricultural areas. So this is how we link from the regional plan into our national action. So I hope will give you the example of case Thailand. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Unapumnuk, what challenges do you think Thailand will face in implementing this roadmap from your point of view?
Thank you very much. I think that is really important to talk about because especially in Thailand, not talking about the transboundary haze yet, we are very much have challenge to compare the regulatory instruments with the economic instruments. For example, if we want to stop fires in the agricultural areas, then we have to introduce them with the alternative technologies, which may cause or increase the expense for the farmers to burning it out the residue of agricultural waste is very easy. Just 1 liter of the fire, and then you can clear the land and be ready for the next crop. But for the sustainable agricultural management, we would like to introduce the technology that the farmer have some alternative option. They don't really need to burn the land to clear. They would have to use the fertilizers or even use some other technologies. So they could avoid the open burning. So that is the most challenges in Thailand, and I believe maybe in other countries as well, because we are talking about money from not paying anything, but you have to buy the instrument. You have to pay for the manpowers and human resources to adopt the alternative technology. So this is the biggest challenge in Thailand that we're facing. Thank you.
Okay, mostly in technology, man or resources, and of course the money or financial resources needed to fund the the programs. All right, thank you very much for your views, Dr. Onapumnuk. And next, we have heard from Thailand's point of view, but now we'd like to know about Indonesia. And we have here Dr. Isar Albar. From your point of view, which strategies are the most crucial to be implemented, and how can it align with Indonesia's effort as well with the roadmap? Please.
Thank you. Good morning to all participants here. First, I would like to congratulate to all ASEAN member states who already has a document. It's milestone for me also. We have the second roadmap for ASEAN cooperation on transboundary haze pollution control with means of implementations that we could implement in each countries into actions. So concerning the questions, I think we have 9 strategy, and then we among all the strategies very important. But for me and personally, I think the strategy number 1, the enhance the implementation of the 8HP, and also including the capabilities of the ASEAN Coordinating Center for Transboundary Haze Pollution Control, or ACTHPC, is the very important one. And then the second one is the strategy number 4, the sustainable management of peatlands for peatlands fire preventions in accordance with the new APMS, ASEAN Peatland Management Strategy. So this 2 document is very important also. And the third one is the strategy number 8. We have the enhancing public awareness and stakeholder participations. For this strategy, number one, we know this ACTHPC established for the purpose of facilitating cooperation and coordination among the parties in managing the impact of land and forest fire, in particular haze pollutions arising from the forest fires. The ASEAN Center shall work on the basis of the national authority will first put out the fires. When the national authority declares an emergency situations, it may make a request to ASEAN Center to provide assistance. So that's the task of the center. The center also facilitates the cooperation and coordination among the parties to increase their preparedness for and to respond land and forest fire, and as well as to facilitate coordinate among the parties, other states, and relevant stakeholders, organizations in taking effectiveness measure to mitigate the impact of forest fire. And then also, I hope by fully operationalizing the center, I believe that all MS will hand in hand and enhance collaboration and cooperations in tackling land and forest fire across the ASEAN countries, and I hope this center will be the ASEAN contributions to a better environment, healthier of living place of the world. So this is ASEAN for the world. And for the strategy number 4, I think if we look at the APMS, we have 11 focal area, and 6 of them is related to this roadmap. So I may mention here the inventory mapping of assessment, especially for the peatland, and then the restoration and rehabilitation. We have peatland problems, and in Indonesia we have the agency to restore the peatland. We also would like to emphasize in the focal area 3 the community livelihoods, because in peatland, I think maybe let's say 100%. The peatland fire occur by anthropogenic, by humans causes. And in focal area 4, peatland biodiversity and conservations, also related to this roadmap, fire prevention, control and monitoring in focal area 5, of course, this is very, very related to the roadmap. And the last one is peatland and climate change. So now we talk about climate change, not only in national, but also in regional to the international regions. And the last one, for the strategy number 8, it is important to empower communities and the general public to actively engage in activities to address root cause of haze. As I mentioned, the peatland fires, especially in southern part, I think, because Pak Supat already mentioned, there's a difference about northern and southern part of the fire regime or the fire seasons. Now we have the fire season in northern part of ASEAN, and next, starting in June or July, we'll have another season in southern part of Indonesia. So that's why the the stakeholders, especially the local community, is very, very important in this case. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Engaging the local communities. Indonesia, as we all know, every year faces a haze problem, we can say. But what are the challenges? Why cannot it yet be tackled? Because agencies are set up, resources are made, education are gone through with local communities. What is the biggest challenge? What is the gap?
Thank you. I think the problem in the land and forest fire in Indonesia is we have no options. So that's why we do the fire to open the land, because it's very easy, and it's the fastest way, and it's the very cheapest way. So that's why we need also the alternative. And this morning, I heard from our colleague from Japan, from Sumitomo, about what technology that we will need to reduce the forest fire and also the haze. So that's why I think maybe we can discuss later on if we have another options, not open the fire, not open the land by burning, by fire. So maybe we can reduce the fire and also the haze in Indonesia.
But still through an easy and also a cheap way.
Yes.
So the local communities will be wanting to adapt it as well. All right, thank you for your views, Dr. Albert. And next we will listen and also understand the views from the private sector, because we have with us here today Ms. Elim Sritaba. From the private sector's point of view, what do you anticipate, especially of the implementation of this roadmap?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I want to congratulate first for the launch of the second Haze-Free Roadmap for 2023 to 2030. And I know that it's a multi-stakeholders effort, and also thank you to Dr. Fong with the second, this roadmap include also coming input from the private sector. So I want to share my view in terms of this strategy. From the private sector, of course, like what Dr. Supat just now explained, that it's really important to have the national actions, which is, I know that private sector having a big contribution to this implementation. So I would like to go to the strategy 3, which is sustainable management of agriculture. So this is really important because we found based on our experience in 2015 when the El Nino season, big forest fire happened within Asia and included Indonesia. So we need to address the root cause of the transboundary haze by focusing on these sustainable practices in agriculture, land, and non-peatland forests, including peatland in the southern region. So I think immediate action or attention to this strategy can lead to the more resilient and fire-resistant landscape. I give sample in our company. So in 2015, we also launched or allocate $10 million to help the community to find alternative how they can implement sustainable agriculture. Like what Dr. Ishar said that usually the community only think that this is the cheap way to do the slash and burn, but they didn't realize the impact, the negative impact to the landscape and then surrounding. And of course, as a private sector, we are coming from the pulp and paper industry, which is our raw material coming from the plantation. So this is very high risk to our business. So that's why we are not only allocate the fund, but how we can assist them and also improve their capacity and understanding about how to do the sustainable livelihood. And the second strategy, I would like to go to the strategy 6, which is public awareness and how we can also collaborate with the cross-sector. And I think this is plays a vital role in the building a foundation for the sustainable change by involving the public raise awareness. Because of like Dr. Isar and Dr. Supat, is mostly coming from the human. So sometimes they are not thinking that will impact to their surrounding. So this is really important, not only from the education in the school, but I think sometimes in the community. Some community, they believe that if they do the slash and burn will bring more fertile to the soil. So this is something that we need to change their mindset. A lot of alternative also can bring more. And at the end, they need to improve their livelihood. So we have implemented, and since 2016 until now, we already reach out more than 400 villages to start to show the alternative livelihood, and then we can see the success. Some of the farmer can improve their livelihood without doing the slash and burn. The third strategy, the priority, I think, securing adequate resources from multi-stakeholders for preventing transboundary haze. So this is also important on how we can focus on securing our necessary resources to address the complex challenges. Just now explained about the northern region, southern region. We have a different challenges in each region. I think we need to have adequate funding from diverse stakeholders is very essential for implementing and sustain the comprehensive strategy outlined in the roadmap. So I really aim through I also involve in the development of Asian investment framework together with the GEC and other organizations. So we really aim to have like a task force or alliances to continue how to bring this strategy into action. of course, private sector is a really can bring the key role to how to make it happen on the ground. So since 2016, we also having a big investment to our integrated fire management to improve all internal capacity, including also how we can reach out the community. Thank you.
Reaching out the community through private sectors. Thank you very much once again. Please give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the initial views and insights from our panelists. And next, we will continue to our discussion session, our question and answer session. Therefore, I invite all participants, offline and online, to propose a question to our panelists. Yes, we have one right here, offline or on-site. And for those joining us online, don't forget, please, the committee, help with the microphone. Yes, we have one right here, right in the middle of the room, in the center table. And for those of you joining us online, don't forget to state your name, your institution, and also your email address and to whom the question is addressed to. Please, sir, please stand up, introduce yourself, and to whom the question is addressed.
Thank you. My name is Rico. I'm a freelance journalist from Mongabe, Indonesia. I'd like to ask a question to Mr. Israr Arbar and Ms. Elim Sitaba. Because it will be specifically an issue in Indonesia. I'd like to know your opinion about how significant this roadmap to influence the improvement of our peatland management. We know that El Nino and extreme drought will be common in the future due to the climate crisis, and even our meteorological agency said that El Nino will happen faster at March. I think that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Rico. So without further ado, Dr. Israr and also Ms. Elim, who would like to answer first regarding the significance of the strategies towards peatland management. Please, Ms. Elim first.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, APP, like I said, since 2016, we have implemented our integrated fire management. Why we call it integrated fire management? Because of integrated to the including sustainable forest management, peatland, how we can find the best practice. And I think also following the government also issued the new regulation in 2017, right? So when all the company who's managing peatland have to submit the water level data to the government to comply with the threshold that already defined by the Minister of Environment and Forestry. And I think from the how this strategy, if we see the roadmap, APP has a sustainable roadmap vision 2030, and I'm sure that this old strategy already aligning with our sustainability strategy as well in our company, and including in our in my involving in the Asian investment framework, we also contribute from the private sector view on how we experience the implementation all on the ground to be in the framework. And I'm sure that we already map all the strategies and including the approaches within the framework itself on how the implementation can more strengthen on the ground. And we can see the last year, we know that last year weather is forecasted El Nino and El Nino in the same time. If we see I can say that Indonesia shows some performance that we didn't send any haze, right, to our neighborhood. So, and I'm really confident for this year because of this is already having experience in 2015. We invest more than 250 million since then, and of course, in the beginning, very huge. In the year can 30 millions, but slowly we can reduce the cost of the investment because of the capacity building improve, the awareness also within the community. We invest all the funding within the community, helping to change from the slash and burn and find the other alternative to improve their livelihood. So this kind of preparation, I'm sure that we can share from a private sector point of view. We are, I think, one of the biggest land management in Indonesia. We are the biggest pulp and paper industry in Indonesia, and together with our supplier, we managed 2.6 million plantation in Indonesia. So we are pretty confident contribute and preparing all the El Nino. We already showed last year and we are ready for this year. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Ellen, for the answer. And to add that, Dr. Israr?
Yes, thank you for the questions, Pa. As we know, in fire management, there are three pillars of activities. One is the prevention, the second was the suppression, and the third one is the post-fires. I would like to highlight also the UNEP report in February 2022, because this is related to the climate change. It said that in 2030, there will be additional 14% of the fire. And then in 2050, there will be about 14 in 2030, and then 30% will be increased of fire in 2030, 50, sorry. And then at the end of the century, we'll facing 50% of increasing of the fire. So that's why the government of Indonesia, here in Ministry of Environment and Forestry, we focus on the preventions. What kind of the prevention that we already do and we will do? We established the fire brigades. We call it Manggalagni. Now we have in 11 fire-prone provinces with 34 local fire stations. So with almost 2,000 fire brigades that we have now. And then we do the patrol and also the integrated patrol. This is with the army and the police. And then, of course, we enhance our capacity in daily monitoring hotspot. So this is also very, very important. I think Faisal mentioned about the how to monitor the peatland. So yes, we also monitor the groundwater level of the peatland. So that's why they have regulations. We need at least 40 centimeters of the water level in the peatland. And then we also engage all stakeholders, including the local communities. So that's why we also enhance and we establish the fire care community. Now we have, I think, about 6,000 fire care community. In fact, maybe more than 11,000, but now we try to renew our data, our database, and then we found about 6,000 fire care community that's also belongs to the company, I think, like Sinarmas and then APP. They have another terms of this fire care community because they are the front line of the prevention of the fire. So that's why I think prevention is the key of to handle, to tackle land and forest fire, as well as to enhance our fire brigades and also to see what regulations that we have. We have to review the regulation because there are still a regulation that's allowing 2 hectares of fire do by the masyarakat adat, the territorial or local. This is the local wisdoms. So we can see in South Sumatra and also in South Sumatra they have like sonor. It's a local term. And also in West Kalimantan they have gawai serentak. This is also the fire season for the local community. So that's why I think the prevention is the key, how to handle, how to tackle land or forest fire for the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Please give a round of applause and thank you, Mr. Rico. Through prevention and also collaboration through multiple stakeholders and collaborative effort. Thank you once again. And next, I will allow for the next question, please, to the committee to pass on the microphone. And once again, are there any online participants?
Yes, thank you. My name is Matias from Dewan Ekonomi Rakyat. I think I just want to ask about Jakarta is a big city, right? Di mana sampahnya itu dibuang ke TPA ya, tempat pembuangan akhir. Dan there are a lot of news about this burning place. How, and when it comes to the local governments, how this public awareness, because according to the local governments, it's like the local governments just to provide within 5 years for the confined space, while the national, it's somehow is the, the media is always recurring, whether this is how, how do you manage it? This is not the agriculture area. This is happened many times. How does the public awareness and the things? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Matias. Please give a round of applause. And this is regarding waste or trash management in Jakarta. It's something local peoples do, and how can we manage and educate them to not do it again?
Thank you, Pak Matias, for questions. However, this is not my specialist because we have another Director General for the waste management. But yes, last year we experienced, I think maybe about 30 of garbage stations, not only in Jakarta, but also in Bali, in Suwung. There's a big fire there. We don't know what's going on there. Maybe because of the methane, maybe because of this, there's a guy starting, ignite the fire there, and it's become a large fire. In Suwung area, I've been there last September when the fire occurred in Suwung TPA. There's a big fire, so that we also deploy a helicopter to suppress the fire, in garbage fire. In Jakarta also, we deploy our fire brigades Manggalagni from Sulawesi to suppress the fire. Even that's not their main task. So the main task is how to handle, how to tackle land and forest fire, not the garbage fire. But however, that additional task that we did it, and we succeed to suppress that fire in this garbage area. And also with the, there's a local government also deploy their, what we call it, their truck, fire truck and so on. Additionally, there's a National Disaster Management Agency also deploy their helicopter for water bombing. So that's my explanation.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Israr. And we'd like to also probably ask Dr. Una Pumnuk's view as well as an environmentalist. Especially this is closely regarding air quality. Once again, Dr. Una Pumnuk, are you still with us? Yes. Once again, can you please test your audio? Okay, please do. Regarding waste management and, of course, the burning of waste from your point of view, especially as an environmentalist.
Yes, as the environmentalist, I think that the waste management, especially in the agricultural area, if we're talking about the residual waste from the agricultural activities, so the management, you could not avoid that if you just put it on fire or burn it, will create air pollution. This is the problem that Thailand is facing at this day, because we found that a lot of solid waste residual, both the community solid waste and also the agricultural waste, could create fire and it create particulate matter, which become a serious problem in our country. And also, if it happens at the bordering line of the country, it will make impact to our neighboring country as well. So that is really important, the waste management and air pollution have to go together, air pollution management. So this is my point of view. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the additional point of views, and hopefully can answer and give a thorough understanding to you, Mr. Matias, once again. Please give a round of applause. Thank you for the question. And next, are there any other questions from those participating here on site or offline? Please, to the committee, Dr. Vong.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I would not ask the question, but I mean, it's quite important to highlight something, not to share, but to ask the panel. Not a difficult question. I think refer to your question, really important about the national action. It's about local action. It's about engagement. It's quite obvious. Consider the opportunity with the roadmap. The second roadmap is available right now, and today launched as a witness of all of us on this sort of second roadmap with the aim to achieve haze-free in the region. So now, how this roadmap can contribute to the national and local engagement process, where you really want to see this engagement to happen at the national level and local level. So how this roadmap can contribute, and vice versa, the national and local contribute back to the roadmap at regional level. I believe this maybe provide a good insight for next session discussion about the opportunity as well. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Please give a round of applause for Dr. Vong. And probably we can begin, please, to answer the question to Dr. Supat. You may begin with the... Please take your microphone and for the audio. Yes. How can the roadmap contribute, especially for the local and engagement process of the implementation?
The roadmap is for ASEAN region. It specifies how the country will have to do under the NICE strategy. The way that to be successful, the country will have to take the roadmap and translate that into national and local action. For example, the strategy number 3, sustainable management of forest fire. And that has to be taken at the country level, at the local, and the engagement with the people who are actually causing the fire. That, I think, ASEAN Secretariat, the ASEAN Center for the regional haze could act as the coordination between many international organizations, resource mobilization. I think that's very important. A lot of improvement in the southern part of the ASEAN in terms of haze, transboundary haze, is a result of a lot of resources being provided to the southern part, but very rare in the northern part, very few. So the mobilization of resources, the international organization, the investment framework will come in and then help mobilizing resources to the northern part. And I think I have seen that already. Many international organizations has contacted several countries in the northern part of ASEAN already in order to organize or implement a sub-regional project in the Mekong sub-region, something like that. And that would help. So the roadmap actually acting like an initiator, initiates something, and those international organizations also come and talk to ASEAN Secretariat for the project to be implemented as ASEAN project. And that will be the contribution from the roadmap in terms of providing support through international organization for the on-the-ground implementation, a pilot project, many things that can happen on the ground. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Dr. Supat. And next, Dr. Una Pumnuk, can you please also share your views on what contribution can be made?
Thank you very much. So I think this is a very good point, how to transfer the knowledge at the regional level into the national level and local level. In Thailand, with the opportunity of launching the joint plan of action and the clear sky strategies, we have created the training program, capacity building programs with the help of international organizations. For example, the ISS, ADPCs, for example. So we mobilize our resources from Thailand to transfer knowledge to Myanmar's and Laos PDR. That is in terms of country to country. But in terms of country to the local government, especially for today, Thailand has focused on our target area, for example, in the northern part of Thailand, which have very serious problems of PM2.5. And we also experience some haze, transboundary haze from other countries as well. So we realize that if Thailand, the government may have the strategy, but if the action have not been taken by our local government, it's very hard to implement the plan. So even though our local government is working, we can just reduce hotspot, for example, into zeros or 50% reduction. But when neighbor friends could not reduce any hotspot number, then people at the community will still have impact from surrounding areas as well. So I think the local government, the national government, and the regional country have to go together. So because the particular matter or haze is transboundary in nature. So whoever create or cause the air pollution will have impact to other countries. So it have to go on together. And one of the things that I will think in my point of view is the capacity building, knowledge transfer, and exchanging experience. So that would help us to increase our capability to reduce the fires or transboundary haze. So thank you.
All right, thank you. The transfer of knowledge, capacity building, and also exchanges between countries that will be fostered. And next, Dr. Israr.
Yes, thank you for the Pak Fong Sok for the questions. The challenge is how to translate these documents into the actions. So for Indonesia, here for Minister of Environment and Forestry, with these documents, we have like a couple of strategy, and then we put it as our activities. So these national activities we put in our documents, and also we also allocate some budgets. And this is not only the state budget, but also from the donor or from other sources. For example, today until next Friday, we invited all head of local fire station, 34 head of local fire stations in Sentul, in Bogor, to have, we call it the national coordination meeting, because now it's still, let's say, rainy season, so we can invite them to Jakarta or to Sentul. And then we will discuss about the plan for this year, and also we will introduce about this, the ASEAN policy, like the PMS, and also the new roadmap. So my terms, it will be tomorrow, so I will introduce also this roadmap. And then next week, we will have another local activities in Riau. First, one in Pekanbaru. So we will share the capacity building for the local agencies there, how to calculate like the burn area mapping. And then in Dumai, we have another cooperation project with JICA, where Fire Brigades Manggalagni and Fire Care Community is the main components that we will focus in their capacity building. So this is the way how to translate these documents into the national and also regional to the local actions. So that's what we did. And then this become also our achieve. So we put this is the target. So when we achieve our target, this is also including the target of national of this roadmap. So that's, I think, we will do this in the whole year. What we can do for the local community as well as our Manggalagni Fire Brigades. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Translating the action and translating the document into action with local communities. And Ms. Ellie, from your point of view.
Yeah, thank you. I think same view that we need to translate the strategies into action. I think the strategies already clear and already also have a Asian investment framework as a part of the implementation approach that we can mapping all with the existing activities that has been done and how we can achieve going forward into 2030. And I agree, we need to focus on the prevention and how we can strengthen that strategy or program. And the last thing is really important also, cross-sharing within the cross sectors, which is really important to having like alliances to have a cross-sharing section experience, including how we can also collaborate between the public, private, and also the community. So this is really important to achieve the haze-free roadmap strategy in the next 7 years. So I would like to say that investment also is really important because of usually the key players, the key issue is investment. So how this investment, so by doing this to have a collaboration, alliances to cross-sharing each other, we can identify which one that need the priority for the investment, which one that can have the capacity to share the knowledge also between northern and southern. Even though if I can simple quickly analysis between northern and south, maybe the difference between the culture and also the soil type, the environment, but I'm sure that mostly within the Asian, the fire issue is really coming from the communities. So it's really important to all the like private sector, the big corporation also, how we can include together working with the community and support by the public sector on how we can achieve this roadmap. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Ellen, please give a round of applause. And so we can achieve that through cross-sharing, also empowering of communities. All right, next, it appears we are almost out of time, but we have one more question, and this is from an online participant. This is from Holiday, joining us online, and the question is, how can we empower the local community to prevent fire? And probably I will ask to each and every one panelist, but please do it very briefly and quickly. How can we empower the local community to prevent the fire? Maybe we can start from Ms. Ellen first.
Yeah, thank you. So I will share our experience to empower community to prevent the fire. Because of when we launched our program called DMPA in Indonesia, Desa Makmur Peduli Api, basically we found the root cause that when the community did the slash and burn, basically at the end, they need to improve their livelihood at the end. So we focus on that by selecting several pilot and allocating some fund for the investment. And the way we allocate fund for this program is different with the way usually CSR fund allocated. So we allocate fund as a revolving fund. So we assist the community to choose the alternative livelihood that's suitable with their condition, their environment, their capacity, and the raw material resources surrounding their living area. And then we assist them to develop the business plan and how we can help to fund the starting point. And they have we allocate the revolving fund. They can lend the fund, but they have to return back without interest. So this revolving fund we put in the village through the cooperation or organization under a village head, so they can use the fund as a revolving from the group farmer from the one to another. So we found from the success story, we can scaling up to other farmers. I think this is really successful, and we can show within our program, we can reduce more than 80% forest fire since 2015 within the fire prone on those villages.
Thank you very much. Best case example from the expertise. Thank you, Ms. Elim and Dr. Israt.
Yes, thank you. I think the key message also, same with Sibu Elim, the productive economy for the local people is very important. So that's why for important, 2 years ago, we developed the ITTO project in South Sumatra, West Central and South Kalimantan. So we improve, we involve the local community. In this term is the fire care community to do what they want in terms of the economic productivity. And then this year, we also do the same thing in Riau, and then West Kalimantan and Central Kalimantan through the JICA project. And also with the Korean Forest Service in South Sumatra, because the root case is, it's the human, the anthropogenic, so that's why we have to improve their livelihood. So I agreed that livelihood for the local community is very important. So that's why all the programs that we are created, we are developed is focused in these local people, the fire care community, as well as also to enhance, to strengthen our fire brigades Mangalagni with the public awareness. This campaign, this is also very important. In 2019, in Sumatra itself, we enter 750 schools from primary school to the senior schools to educate, to campaign about the forest fire. Even in the 2019, we lost about 1.6 million hectares, but that's the El Nino seasons with 1.9, the peak of the El Nino, what we call it, the point. But last year is 2.6, but we lost only 1.1 million hectares. So I think last year, comparing to the 2019, there's a decreasing of the forest fire 29%. So I think we are on the track. And also with all stakeholders, with the private sector, the fire care community is also the important thing as the frontliners in prevention of the forest fire.
Engaging with communities and also the frontliners and on the right track. Okay, next, Dr. Una Pumnuk, from your views, how can we empower local communities?
Good point. So I think it is important to raising awareness of the community, especially the local community. So if they realize the impact of fires to the health and economy, they would understand why we have to reduce fire. So this is very big for me. Just raising awareness.
Raising awareness. Okay, thank you very much. And last but not least, Dr. Supat, from your views, what is the best way to empower local
I
communities?
think there's good example in Thailand as well, in terms of forest management. We have another type of forest, which is called community forest. Not looking after by authority, but actually looking after and managed by the community. And we found that with that, there is some kind of sense of belonging. It's like the forest belongs to them. So they look after their own people in the community. There will be certain people in the community who actually go in and ignite the fire. And those people will be watched and then warned by themselves, by the community. And we found that the number of hotspots in those community forests become low and lower and lower compared to the one which is, for example, national park or forests under the authority. So that's a kind of involvement of the community, the people having this sense of belonging with them. And in the agricultural sector, I think one of the reason of the farmer burn is again for their livelihood. At the end, they burn because it's safe, it's fast. They want to grow more crop. In Thailand, the farmer tend to grow 5 crops of rice in 2 years. So there is no time in between unless they burn. But I think we have to develop a mechanism how to help the farmer, because in terms of technology, they are available. But why do they not use the technology? Because it's expensive. They cannot afford that, right? If you want to buy a machine to cut sugarcane, it's 10 million baht. How can the farmer afford to do that? Or rice as well. So I think the issue is the management issues. There are end user. May I have a slide? One slide. Yeah?
Please
Could you
prepare the
bring
slide.
up the slide? Yeah, I intend to propose this as well. On one side, we have the farmer who produce the biomass agriculture residue. And on the other side, we have the user. A lot of industry. Could you next? Yeah. Oh, at once. So on the left side is the farmer. That's the one who generate agriculture residue. If you don't have any way or many mechanism to help them collect the biomass, within a few days they burn. They let probably about 5 days for the rice straw to dry. So it's easy to burn. You cannot burn the rice straw at once when you cut it. So they leave it for 5 days until the straw dry, and then they burn. If you don't have any mechanism to help them to collect, they are not able to afford to buy a machine for the collection of the rice straw. It's expensive. And at the end, on the right-hand side, there are many users can use the biomass from the agriculture to produce a lot of product. Container, food container produced from biomass, cut the box, the paper, even the furniture with particle board used as fuel. Once you put it into pellet, can use as fuel to generate power. But what is missing is in the middle. How to bring the rice straw or other agricultural residue to the user from the producer. And what I'm proposing is the involvement of the private sector and also the community-based unit to help the farmer collect, pre-process, make it smaller, easy to transport, and also provide logistic system, bring the pre-processed biomass to the user. This can be done. I think it will meet the concept of circular economy and also value chain creation, make it more valuable, value added by the end. So everyone will gain. The farmer also maybe can earn more than they have from their waste. The waste become money. So you don't burn your own, what you get in turn. So this is, I'm proposing this and going to do the feasibility study to see whether it will be viable in terms of business and in terms of economic feasibility as well. And at least at the end, there will be huge benefit, climate change benefit, health benefit, many things, clean air benefit.
From the application of this system. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Supat. And it appears we have one more question from an online participant. This will be the last one, and we wish and we hope that Dr. Vong can help address or answer this question. This is from Hans Nicholas Jong from Mongabay. I would like to ask, what were the main weakness in the first ASEAN Haze-Free Roadmap that prevented the region to be free of haze in 2020? And how will the second roadmap address these weaknesses? Thank you. So please do, Dr. Vong.
Very hard question, but I try to be quick because we run out of time. I think it's, of course, the first roadmap, of course, is the first, so that we try our best with all ambitious in place, that the way we come together, agree, and to make things happen in the region. But we learn from that, and the way we learn, you can refer to the result of the review of the Haze-Free Roadmap, the first roadmap itself. This inform a comprehensive information. But I just would like to share, quickly about this sort of weakness. I think it's not about weakness, but we learn from that. We learn because of, the haze, as you may have learned, it come from land and forest fire. And the land forest fire, you start to think, oh, this is only human activity, but you don't, you need to reflect also the seasonal sort of issue, the climate change that all been recognized by the audience also this morning. The climate change is really one of the main contributing factor as well. As you may see right now in Indonesia, no problem, haze-free, because of what? Raining season. When it comes to raining season and northern part to the Mekong country, there are no fire as well, no haze as well. Similar situation. This clearly indicate about the contributing factor of the climate change in seasonal pattern itself. No doubt we say about human-induced activity, but this also contribute factor. So with the climate change, with the sort of multiple sort of source of the impact, or multiple source of contribution, like highlighted by Dr. Supat, this is quite intensive sort of activity involved. So we need to engage multiple approach and in a comprehensive manner. So the roadmap, the second roadmap itself, provide a comprehensive response. So this is not only the roadmap itself, the key element, they are the strategy, they are different from the first roadmap. Plus, we have another two key documents to guide the success. The ASEAN Peatland Management Strategy as well, second version. This is the way we hope that to guide the peatland aspect. And the third thing is investment framework. This is to inform because of it's not efficient, not enough financial resource to support different layers from the regional, national, local level. This is the way we believe the investment framework can support. And that's the way the roadmap second roadmap try to support as a comprehensive as possible. With that, with the panelists point out quite important about translate policy to action, we believe this roadmap can support and guide not only to provide the frame of the comprehensive response, but also to provide other support as well in terms of partnership, engagement, resource mobilization. So with that, I believe this will also support the national and translate the action to the national and local level, try to make the haze-free region really impactful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vong. Please give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, we also conclude our talk show. Please do give a round of applause as a sign of gratitude. And thank you for the insights from all of our panelists here on site and also online. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.